I'm Candace, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm just working on tidying up. This treehouse is my very favorite place, and it's gotten a bit messy lately. See, my school had a big art show last week, and I worked really hard to design something unique and special. And the great news is that I came in second place. Yep, see, it says it right here. Art show, second place. Cadence? Oh no, my name's Candace, not Cadence. I know it shouldn't seem like a huge deal, but I worked so hard on this, and they didn't even get my name right. Honestly, it makes me feel like it doesn't even matter. And maybe I don't really matter. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's felt that way, right? Maybe you felt like you're just another number on the soccer team, or just another sibling in your family. Maybe sometimes you wonder if anyone out there knows your name, knows you, and really cares about who you are. If that sounds like you, you're definitely not alone. The truth is, God designed you uniquely, believes you are priceless, and knows you by name. He knows everything about you. He knows all of us by name because He wants to know us personally. You know, this reminds me of a pretty cool story in the Bible about a kid named Samuel who heard God actually call his name out loud. The Bible is God's true message to us about Himself. And we can find this story in 1 Samuel chapter 3. Let's learn about how God called Samuel by name and what that meant for Samuel. God called Samuel. A boy named Samuel served God, learning and working in God's temple with a priest named Eli. During this time, not many people heard from God. Early one morning, Samuel was lying down in the temple. Then God spoke to Samuel. Samuel had not heard the voice of God before, so he did not recognize that it was God calling to him. Instead, Samuel ran to Eli and said, "Here I am. You called for me." Eli replied, "I did not call for you. Go back and lie down." So Samuel went back and lay down. God spoke to Samuel 2 more times, and both times Samuel ran to Eli, thinking Eli was calling to him. Then Eli understood that God was speaking to the boy. Eli told Samuel, "Go and lie down. If the voice calls you, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went and lay back down. What I like about this story is that Samuel was just a kid, not some big important leader. He was a lot like you and me. And God proved that He knew Samuel personally when God literally said Samuel's name during the night. It was Eli the priest who realized it was God speaking and told Samuel to go lie back down and listen for what God had to say. Let's check out what message God wanted to share with Samuel. God called to Samuel as before. "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel responded, "Speak, for your servant is listening." God said to Samuel, "I'm about to do something in Israel that will cause everyone to pay attention to me. I will also carry out the punishment I promised to Eli's family because of their sin." Samuel lay down until morning. He was afraid to tell Eli the vision, but Eli called Samuel and said, "Samuel, my son, what was the message God gave you? Do not hide it from me." So Samuel told Eli everything. Eli responded, "God is the Lord. Let Him do what He thinks is good." As Samuel grew up, he prophesied to God's people, which means he shared special messages from God with the people of Israel. God was with Samuel, fulfilling everything Samuel prophesied. This is big. God chose Samuel, a kid, to share His important message with Eli and God's people. See, even though Eli was a priest, he wasn't perfect. He and his sons made some wrong choices that displeased God, and there would be consequences for them. And even though Samuel was young, he had been faithful to God. And we see in this story that God saw him and knew him by name. Pretty cool, right? This Bible story helps us see that God called Samuel by name because God saw how priceless Samuel was. And God knows us by name too. Now, I've never heard God call my name out loud with my ears, but I know He knows my name and knows me personally. When God called out to Samuel, God wanted to have a relationship with him. And that's the same thing He wants for all of us. The trouble is that, like Eli, we all have sin in our lives. Sin is when we do what we think is best instead of following what God says is best. And the Bible tells us that our sin separates us from God. But the great news is that God sent His Son Jesus to live a sinless life and die on the cross to take the punishment for our sins. Jesus paid a huge price for sin. And because He did all of that, we can have a relationship with God forever. When we turn from sin and believe and trust in Jesus, we are welcomed into a relationship with God that is personal. He invites us, you and me, to trust and follow Him. He knows us by name, and He wants us to know Him too. I'm still a bit disappointed about my name being wrong on the trophy, but it will be okay. I know that God created me to be unique, and He will never mess up my name. He cares about me, knows me, and thinks I'm priceless. And He thinks the same thing about you too. All right, I need to finish tidying up around here. Bye!